Millions of minks and geese are processed in the United States each year, fueling industries worth billions of dollars. From luxurious fur coats to gourmet delicacies, these animals have played a significant role in commerce for centuries. But how exactly are they processed? What goes on behind the closed doors of fur farms and foie gras production? Today, we uncover the reality behind these industries, from the intricate methods used to process these animals to the ethical concerns that have sparked heated debates worldwide. Whether you're interested in agriculture, business, or animal welfare, this is a story you don't want to miss. Mink farming in the United States has long been a controversial, yet profitable business. The American mink, known for its soft and dense fur, has been farmed since the early 1900s. While wild mink populations still exist, most fur used in fashion comes from controlled breeding farms. These farms are concentrated in states like Wisconsin, Utah, and Minnesota, where colder climates allow for better fur quality. The industry peaked in the 20th century when demand for fur coats, hats, and accessories was at an all-time high. However, as fashion trends shift and animal rights activists push back, the industry has seen significant decline in recent years. Minks are typically raised in wire cages, fed specialized diets to ensure optimal fur quality, and kept in controlled environments to minimize stress. Once they reach maturity, around 6 to 8 months old, they are harvested for their fur. The most common method of euthanasia is gas chambers, usually using carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. This method is considered humane by industry standards, as it is meant to cause minimal suffering while preserving the fur. However, animal rights activists argue that it is far from painless. After euthanasia, the minks are skinned, and their pelts undergo a detailed processing phase, including stretching, drying, and dyeing, to prepare them for the fashion market. The remains of the animals are often used for other products, such as pet food or fertilizers, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Despite declining demand in Western markets, mink fur remains highly valuable in countries like China and Russia, where fur clothing is still popular. The U.S. mink industry generates millions in revenue annually, supporting thousands of jobs, from farmers to furriers. However, growing opposition and legislative restrictions are forcing many mink farmers to shut down or switch to alternative businesses. Some have shifted towards sustainable farming or even breeding minks for conservation purposes rather than fur production. Unlike minks, geese are raised primarily for their meat, feathers, and a controversial delicacy known as foie gras. The U.S. has several large-scale goose farms, with the most prominent operations located in states like New York and California. Geese farming follows a structured process, with birds being raised in large enclosures or free-range environments, depending on the farm's practices. While some farms promote humane conditions, others have faced criticism for inhumane treatment, particularly in foie gras production. Geese raised for meat are typically slaughtered around 10 to 12 weeks old. They are stunned, either electrically or using gas, before being bled out and plucked. The meat is then processed into products like goose breast, sausages, and pâté. Goose down is highly valued for its insulating properties in jackets, bedding, and sleeping bags. In some farms, feathers are plucked from live geese, a practice condemned by animal rights groups. However, in ethical farms, feathers are collected after slaughter or during molting seasons when geese naturally shed them. One of the most controversial aspects of goose farming, foie gras, is made by force-feeding geese large quantities of grain to fatten their livers. This process, known as gavage, involves inserting a metal tube down the bird's throat multiple times a day. Critics argue that this practice is cruel and causes extreme distress, while supporters claim it is a traditional method that, when done correctly, does not harm the birds. Goose farming has faced increasing scrutiny, especially regarding foie gras production. Organizations like PETA and the Humane Society have exposed disturbing conditions on some farms, sparking global outrage. Several countries and U.S. states have banned foie gras production, but the delicacy remains legal in many regions. Even beyond foie gras, the commercial exploitation of geese for feathers and meat has led to heated debates on animal welfare, sustainability, and ethical consumption. Both mink and geese farming have been heavily criticized by animal rights activists. Organizations like PETA, the ASPCA, and the Fur-Free Alliance have long campaigned against fur farming, citing inhumane conditions, cruel euthanasia methods, and unnecessary suffering. Similarly, foie gras production has been labeled as one of the most unethical farming practices, leading to bans in various countries.